always followed through. And my mom, she told me some examples and just copied it. So it taught me and told me that he was a man after his word, you know?
Hello, I'm Jess Cannell, and if you're new, then welcome. I would love to earn your subscription today. Well, today's a little bit different of a video. Matt Douthit, the same guy who took us on the JD Tippit tour, let me know that there was a ceremony today for Officer JD Tippit. They were installing a new street sign in his honor. And actually, it's a really good thing because at the Tippit site, there's a memorial plaque kind of across the street towards the corner, but it's confusing because it's pretty far from where he actually fell. And so they put up a little street sign very near where his car was parked and where he fell. And what I didn't know, I knew in advance about this ceremony, and it said family will be present. I didn't realize that his son and daughter would be present. And so I ended up getting to meet both Brenda and Curtis Tippit. It was a real honor. His grandkids were there as well. JD Tippit's granddaughters were there. And in this, I just kind of wanted to show you, before I show you the video and footage from that little ceremony, I just wanted to show you, this is the front of the program. It talks about the time that the ceremony was, and it was at the site of where he was shot and killed. But one thing that I found really wonderful is inside there are a bunch of photos of JD Tippit, some of them that I had never seen before. So I just kind of wanted to share those with you. They have family photos, it looks like, with Brenda. And one of the things that they said about photos of him, they said it was actually hard to get photos of him because he was so silly and goofy that he would often be laughing and cracking a joke. And so they said it's really hard actually to find photos where he just looked like himself or where he was serious, because he was just often really a jovial, joking man. But I'll just read to you what was here in the program. It says JD Tippit, born 9/18/1924, so he was 39 years old at the time that he was killed. It says hired on July 28th, 1952, and the end of watch was 11/22/1963. So his tenure was 11 years and 3 months. He was a part of recruit class 31. It says on November 22nd, 1963, Officer JD Tippit, badge 848, was driving on East 10th Street, just past South Patton Avenue, looking for the suspect who just shot President John F. Kennedy. Officer Tippit observed a man matching the description and stepped out of his vehicle to investigate. The suspect pulled out a gun and killed Officer Tippit. Officer Tippit was a United States Army veteran. He left behind his wife and children. Officer Tippit was assigned to the Southwest Patrol Station, Element, number 78, and it has a photo of different policemen there. And then the back says police. It has his badge number 848. It says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God, Matthew 5:9. And then it lists the family in attendance. And one of the things that I thought was really beautiful, his daughter Brenda, she was speaking with someone else, and I looked, and she has a necklace that has a replica of his badge with his name on it. And I thought that was really special. So it was just a really meaningful day. A lot of the Dallas police was out. And in fact, actually, there were horseback police officers there. So that was just really special. It was well done. And Curtis even spoke and shared a few stories. I don't think I got videos of all of his stories, but a couple of things that he said that stuck out to me were that he knows that his father was a Bronze Star recipient, but he said, you know, I wish I could have sat and talked with my dad and asked him about that and heard the story myself of how he earned the Bronze Star. And he talked about his dad had gotten him a new bike, and he had learned to ride it with the training wheels on, but then his dad thought he was ready, and so they took the training wheels off, and he went off and he went straight into a telephone pole. And he said he remembers his dad being pretty frustrated, and he felt kind of embarrassed as a kid, but he says now as a man he realizes his dad was working 3 jobs, and that he probably was thinking about how much it was going to cost to, how much it had cost to get the bike in the first place and how much it was going to cost to get it in good repair again. And then he told a sad story, actually, that really tugged at my heart about, he remembered one very clear time of coloring with his dad, and that he would just felt amazed because he was 5 years old when his dad's life was taken. And he said he remembers his dad coloring, and he, Curtis, felt amazed that his dad colored so neatly in the lines and did such a good job of shadowing and coloring and just making it look so beautiful. And he said at some point after, the chaos of the death kind of died down, he said he went to look for that picture and he never could find it. And that was just something that felt kind of sad to him. And he kind of got choked up as he thought about that he just would have liked to have had that, that picture that he had colored with his dad. So it evoked just how very young he was when he lost his dad. And so it was a real honor to meet and see his family there, and to see the installation of this sign. I thought it was really well done, and I think it's really good that there's going to be a sign right there where the car was. So I hope you enjoy this video. When we arrived at the ceremony on November 14th, 2025 at 1 p.m., some of JD Tippit's children and grandchildren were present and having their pictures taken in front of a replica of a Dallas police vehicle. Various researchers were also attending the conference, and some news media. The Dallas Police Department and a junior ROTC group was out for the ceremony, and they prepared the vehicle, and then the horseback police officers showed up right before the ceremony.
Hard, hard. Hold your, hold. Left, hey. There, arm.
He continued and followed the serve. This time as a police officer in the city. He was a devoted husband, loving father, and defender.
I am so happy and honored to be here with his daughter. Children. My sister Brenda is also here today. My oldest brother, sweet mother, have gone on to be with the Lord, and we miss them dearly. If my mother was alive, she would be here no matter what. She loved her police family. She came to all events, and she ministered to pastors, to widows. 5 years old, my father was killed. I was so young, I don't remember a lot about him, but I would like to share a few treasured memories I have. He would take me on running some errands, and he had this old Chevrolet car in the back of the driver's seat. The floor was rusted. I like to sit back there and watch the ground go by as he drove. I'd pull off pieces of rust and drop down the hole. One time, he said, "Ernest, can you tell us how to go home?" And so I looked around and I kept looking for landmarks. And I told him to turn left. And then we went and turned another left. Then we were on the road. It took us straight down. And on the road where we went into our driveway, we kept going. And so he was impressed that I actually got to get home. And I really realized later he was a father that was if I was to got a photo away from the house, I'd see how to get home. He was taking care. I remember also one time I was coloring in a coloring book, and I was on the floor. He was sitting in the picture in a small bin, and I just had the idea for ask him to color me a picture. It was a picture of a frog and a little head. And so anyway, he colored it, and he was over there a while. And so I looked at it, and I was so amazed. I remember looking because he stayed on all the lines. And it was shaded, and it was dark in places, and I thought it was so creepy. And so I remember, it probably could have been a year after he died, whenever they got older, and he sunk in. There was two different times I looked really hard for that book. By the end, I guess it got thrown away. I remember he got me a bicycle, and put some training wheels on it, and I guess I got good enough to decide to take the wheels off. And right there, the sidewalk and in the driveway, so I was still in this guy around. I took off, and there was a telephone pole in a short distance. I ran right into it. He didn't like it. He thought I was just, he was ready to do it, or else he wouldn't have to get on it, And so he got on to me. It's kind of funny now. But I thought later in life, he worked as a policeman. He worked at Austin Barbecue for security. He also was at the main lot for security. He had a great job trying to make kids eat. He probably was thinking about saving me from the bicycle, and I just ran into the telephone. But anyway, I would have loved to got to know my father better. My father was a man who loved his job. My mom, when she would talk about him, she would say that and tell about how he loved it. And so I pondered and thought about why he loved it so much. A policeman, he gets to see all kind of different things, and we could show it this way because he was acting silly. But he also was a man that he went to volunteer. He had finished school to crop, and get it done, and he could go volunteer again, go to the army, so the crop got finished, and he went in, and he did a variety of things there. But one of them. He always followed through, and my mom, she told me some examples and just talking, and so it taught me and told me that he was a man after his word, And a quick example I think of, and made me also want to be that way, was a policeman friend dropped by to visit, and Mom was gone, because I just remember it was me, him, and this policeman friend, and they were sitting on the couch, and there was one of these old clocks from the 60s that looked like a sun with all the little rays coming off. And I kept trying to push this little eraser on the end of it, one of the things, and I could have easily knocked it off the wall. And he told me, Curtis, don't do that. And he didn't say anything else. As soon as they got finished visiting, man left, and I got a spanking. And I remember thinking after that, man, I'll never do that again. But anyway, when Sergeant they called me, and how they wanted to honor my father in this way. And of course, thinking of all the other people and how it affects the family and others. But that when the police officer sees one of these signs mounted, that they would feel a deeper connection to one another. When a family member sees the sign, I hope they would feel a sense of closeness to their loved one that died in the line of duty. Showing up here today, it was overwhelming seeing his car and knowing, he was just driving right there looking and pulled on the street and saw Oswald, and then Oswald turned around, and I've always thought, man, you don't do that as a policeman. You're suspicious now. He was just doing his job, though, looking for the person he was supposed to be. I want to thank you, everyone that had a hand in making this sign dedication happen. I know it takes a lot of hard work to do the fundraising, the organizing, and contacting families to make this happen. And I will always treasure this. It means so much that you're helping my father's name and his legacy live on. I just, myself, I'm speaking for my family. We're so grateful for the way the policemen take care and minister to their fallen officers. Thank you all very much.
They still had some markings on it. And I could tell right away it wasn't a Dallas police car. And through my research, it was a movie car used in 1975 for a movie they called The Trial of Lee Harvey Oswald. So I have it now, so what to do with it now? And I came very close to the Tippit family through my duties, and I decided to make it a Tippit tribute call. And I think 2013 was the first time after it was refinished. We brought it out here with Marie and the whole family, and had it dedicated on November 22nd, I believe it's 2013. And it's now on display at the Dallas Police Association, so it's not here all the time. And I would like to thank everybody who took the time and the donations to refurbish it. It's seen some weather, but through the Dallas Police Association, some other organizations, I'd like to thank for making it look like it does today. It is a tribute to Officer JD Tippit, badge 848, but it'll also be a tribute to every Dallas police officer killed in the line of duty and serving the citizens of Dallas today.
Once the sign was unveiled, photos were taken of the family with the Dallas police members who were there, and various community members came as well. It was actually really healing to see the family smiling and loving each other there in that place. I felt like it told a story of the way that joy still comes. The horseback officers even lined up for a really large group photo with all of the Dallas police members who were there that day. It was pretty astounding to see their numbers and how many had turned out to honor JD Tippit and be there with his family. And the officers, you could tell, were very moved by the ceremony as well. In the end, different researchers came up and got family photos and got to talk with Curtis and Brenda and their children. It was really good to see the topper put up in the place where JD Tippit lost his life. As a side note, it was interesting and helpful to see that particular vehicle in that place and put it together with some of the research. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And one thing I hope you noticed was that remade police car. It's pretty neat. And the man who did the remaking of the car was there at the ceremony, and he said that he had served on the Dallas Police Force and that a junk yard reached out to him and said, "Hey, we have one of y'all's old vehicles here." And that as he dug into it, he realized it was not an old Dallas police car. It was actually a car that was used in the filming of a movie in 1975 about Lee Oswald. And so he went ahead and got it, and then he, I guess, has raised money over the years, he said, to really renovate it and restore it to be redone as a tribute vehicle to JD Tippit. So that was pretty neat. My two boys that were with me got to see it, and it was really meaningful to see it parked there in that same spot right next to the white X where he fell. So anyway, I hope you enjoy seeing this just little memorial look at something that happened today, November 14th, 2025, here in Dallas. Have a good day. Bye.